Welcome to episode 1 of Ghost Stories, the podcast that celebrates the incredible individuals of Kaukauna High School, the home of the Galloping Ghosts. My name is Aaron Herm, the first-year principal of Kaukauna High School, and I am joined today by Tina Scott and Delaney Ward of the Ghost Crew. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So the purpose of this podcast is to shine a spotlight on the people of Kaukauna High School and let everybody know about the awesome things that are going on. And selfishly, it's also to give me an opportunity to do the same thing as the first year principal. And this summer, we're recording this on August 14th. So school hasn't started yet, but I've gotten to know some people and learn about some of the things that are going on at the school. And one of the coolest things that I've learned about is what the Ghost Crew does. So you guys were just the natural fit for the first episode. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yes, we're super excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So Delaney, do you want to introduce yourself first and what your role is on the Ghost Crew?
Yeah, so I'm Delaney Ward. I'm going to be a senior here at Kaukauna High School. So for Ghost Crew, I'm a leader this year. So I've been working with Miss Scott a lot this year. So even just this summer so far, we've got to know each other a lot. But yeah, so basically as a leader, we're just getting everything ready for when like the kids come in and just the incoming freshmen getting projects ready for that, I guess. So that's been really fun this summer.
Awesome. And then Mrs. Scott, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So I'm Mrs. Scott, and I am a school psychologist here at the high school, and I'm also one of the co-advisors for Ghost Crew.
What exactly is Ghost Crew? What is your purpose here at the school? Just give us some background for somebody who doesn't know what Ghost Crew is at all.
Sure, I can start with that.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So Ghost Crew actually is it's an organization that supports our freshmen and new students to Kaukauna High School. Ghost Crew is actually, I believe this is the 5th year, or starting with our 5th year as Ghost Crew. Prior to Ghost Crew, we did, I believe it was Ignition and similar to like other high school organizations like Link Crew, things like that. But I was a part of the original team that rebranded Ignition, and we just wanted to do something more. We really wanted to make a difference. We have 2 main objectives. One is to support our new students. Supporting our new students is the most important thing that we do, obviously, and so we put a lot of time into training our mentors. But then the second piece of that is we really work hard on helping our mentors. We have over 80 mentors develop leadership skills and really help them understand that they can make a difference and what difference that they make. And so that is what Ghost Crew is. We just really want to make a difference. We have a hashtag that says be significant, and that's what we want. We want to be significant, and we want to help everybody here at Kaukauna High School be engaged and have a wonderful experience.
So when you were talking, you kind of touched on a few of the things that really stood out to me as I learned about Ghost Crew, which is there are high schools that have freshman mentorship programs or buddy freshmen up with upperclassmen, but I feel like you go beyond that with the leadership piece with the upperclassmen and also some of the things that you do for the freshmen. So as a freshman coming into Kaukauna High School, Delaney, can you talk about what some of the things the Ghost Crew does to help their experience?
Yeah, I mean, because obviously I was a freshman once.
Yeah, you can talk about what that felt like. What did that feel like for you?
I mean, when I came in, obviously, like, it's a whole new level. It's not middle school anymore. Like, you're coming into a big high school. And I mean, it's really scary. But honestly, though, like, when I came in and like I had that mentor and I had that group of like, everyone's on the same page. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's in like your spot or however you say that. But so everyone feels like the same way, like as of like everyone in your class. And so I guess Ghost Crew really helped just like figuring out the simple stuff, like where to go, where are the bathrooms, like where's just simple stuff like that. And then once you kind of got the simple stuff, like knowing where to go, that was like my big thing. I didn't know where to go. I was scared I was going to get lost. So once you kind of had that down, like you were good. And I mean, Ghost Crew is really good with, we do crew connections, so they'd always like check in with the freshmen, the upperclassmen. I think they once a month or something like that. Yeah. So they'd check in, and it was just nice to be able to talk to somebody older who's been through this for years now. So I mean, that was really nice as a freshman coming into that, just having someone to talk to who you don't really have a choice. You got to talk to them. They're your mentor, but somebody who like wants to be in that leadership role and just help you out.
One thing I learned yesterday actually is that you've already reached out to the freshmen, right? So each mentor is assigned a group of freshmen that they reach out to personally.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me more about that. Maybe what's it like to do that? Like, how's that felt? And what did it feel like when you were a freshman to have an upperclassman reach out to you before the school year even started?
So when I was a freshman and I got that text, I was like, honestly, pretty nervous. But then, I mean, they sent us dates. Like, I know my mentor, she was really good at just reaching out like, oh, there's a football game tonight. Here's the theme. Hope to see you there. Like, just little stuff like that, even before school started, just really helped. And then we have like the tailgate, which is the first football game, and all the freshmen go. And even just that was really nice to like be involved in. It's not just like a freshman thing. Like, everyone's there, but you're getting more involved. And I guess like sending the text, they don't really get back to you, honestly. Like, in my experience last year and this year, I mean, you're always like this message if you get it. And they usually don't really say anything back. But I mean,
Did they at least like it?
They didn't. Yeah. One person did. Yeah.
What's up with that?
It's okay.
Yeah. Did you respond when you were a freshman?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing when you were talking about that, the one thing that I am thinking about, we interview and Ghost Crew applicants to become mentors. So you have to apply, and then there's a whole application process, and that includes an interview. And the thing that I thought was really, really kind of just full circle moment this year when we were interviewing is just how many of the mentors were, they started and they just talked about their experience, like you are, Delaney, talking about your experience and just how valuable it was to them. And they want to continue that. And then maybe their experience wasn't as great as, as maybe others. Everyone does the best that they can, but maybe they didn't have the best experience, and they know the potential of Ghost Crew and they want to do better. And so I just loved that of like, that like our current mentors can look back on what Ghost Crew was like for them and then either build upon the successes and make it even better. And I think that's the one thing that I'm always saying to like our Ghost Crew mentors is this is their organization. I'm the advisor. I'm here to support, but we want to make it the best that it can be, based on what our mentors are, what their ideas are. And I think this year, the overwhelming majority of people are just talk about how they want to build that personal relationship with our mentees. Their intent is really to connect with them, and we do lots of different things to encourage that and to kind of track that to make sure that it's happening. And then I think my job is like if people are not connecting, then I would give them feedback and just say, make sure you're connecting with your kiddo. Yeah. So we want all the freshmen to feel welcome, and our new students too. Because we do support kids. So even if they transfer here and they're senior, we're still supporting them and making sure that they feel very comfortable here at Kaukauna High School.
And new principals too, whether you meant to or not. The interactions that I've had with Ghost Crew members have been very welcoming, have been very helpful. And again, as I learn about all of the cool things that make me excited to be at this school, like the interactions that I had with Ghost Crew members are one of the reasons that I wanted to interview you first and talk with you first.
That makes me so happy.
I'm so honored.
All right, so we've talked about how you've already texted the freshmen and reached out to them. What else is coming up to kick off the year and the things that you do to help them feel welcome?
Well, we have our annual tailgate coming up, so it's our first home football game. And obviously everyone's invited, and basically we have WIXX coming there to play some music for us, so that should be really fun.
That's pretty cool.
We're doing some like yard games, just like cornhole, spike ball.
Yeah. We're still actually planning it right now.
We're still in the process.
That's what we're doing after
that's
this.
What's coming up.
And the one thing that I would say about the tailgate is I think this will be the fourth or fifth year we've done that, and so that's always been a part of Ghost Crew, is that it really, really encourages our new students to get involved. And so I know the first year we did it, Mr. McDaniel, I believe he was the activities director at that time, talked about how we had the most student involved, the most attendance, the highest attendance.
Yeah.
And I feel like every year that just continues. We partner with KYBO, and they are actually offering like coupons for the freshmen, so that it's just going to be at cost. So to really encourage freshmen to come, we have all the prizes and that people are donating. But then the band, the organization is encouraging it as well. They're going to get a soda and a hamburger for a reduced rate, like I think $3, something like that, just to really get. Deal. So I feel like all hands are on deck right now to try to get all the freshmen and new students to that tailgate party, and it's a fun time.
Yeah, I think too, especially with that, like that's the first kind of like we meet like our kids, like the mentors meet their mentees, and that's like the first connection they have, I would say, like
in person.
School. Yeah, in person, besides over the phone. So I think that's really good, just to like connect with them. Like I think we're doing the tournament. Yeah. We're adding like the bag toss, cornhole tournament.
Yes.
So
this is a work in progress.
Yes.
So literally, Delaney and I are going from this podcast to training. These mentors, our leadership team, have put in countless hours this summer doing all the training. I can't even began to thank them for how much time they put into it. Our next step is really planning the tailgate. Obviously, every year we do it, so we have a kind of an outline of what we're typically going to do, but now it's going to be the details. And one of the things that Delaney's talking about is maybe adding like a cornhole tournament, so the mentors and mentees are kind of matched together.
Yeah,
and
so then it's not just like juniors and seniors against freshmen, because that's not
but
like we're meshing together, and then just like it's fun. Like obviously you want to win, and you're competitive with your team, and just getting to know these kids. Yeah. So I think that'll be really fun.
Yes, and see, that is what these guys want to do. They want to connect with their freshmen. And so that was their idea of like, what are we going to do? Let's form teams so that we're with our students and building that relationship during that.
I love everything about that. I think what a great way to get the freshmen involved, to get them at the first football game so that they feel comfortable coming to school activities, feel connected. And is our first football game before school even starts?
Yes,
it is.
August 29th. It's a Thursday. So what actually will happen, and we had this last year, we're inviting everybody to come at 4 o'clock. So the mentors and the mentees will go actually watch their peers, the freshmen, and our mentors and mentees will go sit in that game. And the mentors are going to teach them the chants, those important things in practice. Yes. They're going to practice, and the Kaukauna Crazies are definitely a part of. We work with them. Some of them are mentors, and then we go into the parking lot between the games. It'll be like 5 to 6:30, and that's when we'll have the DJ, and that's when we'll be giving out prizes and having the cornhole tournament. Yeah, and then they go back in, and then
I think it might like seem small, but even just like going in to watch the freshman game, these kids are playing like for the first time. Like I feel like that's a big deal on a high school field. So I mean, obviously that's a lot bigger than they're used to. So like just having that support from the kids they're going to be going to school with, I feel like that's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. And I also think that having done that before the first day of school, having had that high school experience already, makes the first day of school seem a little less intimidating for the freshmen too. So you create that environment for them. How cool.
That's awesome. And then our next thing after that, we obviously have tours, and so we'll be doing that during open house. But then the launch day, the first day of school, is like kind of our big thing. That's when we support all the new students that first half day of school. So the building is just open for our freshmen and new transfer students and our mentors. And then and we're in the process of finalizing our plans of what that looks like. But we do lots of bonding experiences. We do lots of things where we help them actually find their class. Like we go through a mock. In the past, we've gone through a mock schedule so they actually can practice. We have the little bell and go, and then they get to meet their teacher. So the teachers all are a part of, they'll have like a slideshow up that tells a little bit about themselves. So it's just an opportunity to meet them in the morning before they go there the first day, like see what the layout, see where they might want to sit. Because a lot of our classes are mixed grades, and so it's not just going to be a freshman. They might have other people in there, and this is a great opportunity for them to just, experience that.
Yeah, and I think not underestimating the impact that something like that has on just an entire student's high school experience, kicking it off in that way, right? This is special. Like not every school does this. So I'm so excited about everything that you're talking about. How about during the year? So that's kind of the kickoff to the year. What else happens during the year that you have in the works?
So we'll have our crew connections, which I think we said about once a month. We meet just like in a classroom during flex time. So we meet with all of our kids, and we basically, it's more of just like a checkup, like kind of thing. Like how, I think the first one's just like, how are you doing so far? Like how's like homework, everything like that. And then just getting like excited for homecoming and just like events like that, getting them ready for that.
Yeah. So each of our crew connections has a theme, and it's like Delaney said, it's helping that there's two parts to it. One is developing that mentor-mentee relationship in that small group, and then part is like the mentors or teachers, and so they're going to talk to them about things that we do, like the trimester schedule, like how the schedule changes. They're going to give them tips on, if you need to change a class, like your counselor, all those things. We have programming, so. When you're in middle school, that it's not as independent. So when you get into high school, scheduling is a big deal, and I think a lot of times parents are surprised that that's so independent that when you get to high school. And so our mentors really help them understand the process of programming here, the importance of the classes. They also talk about transcripts throughout the year. We talk about like homecoming. So homecoming is one of it.
School
like
events.
what what typically happens. You go out to eat beforehand, getting a dress, themes, all those things that freshmen don't know. So there's just like all those big things that are new to high school. Our mentors support them, and we kind of have that scheduled when those things are happening. So the programming crew connection is before that happens. So they have that. Homecoming is before that happens. The talking about like your transcripts and schedule and scheduling classes is like right before that. So our mentors work with our counselors and just like everybody else to make sure that those things are accurate information and they're timely.
I think too, like even just besides the set crew connections, one thing I want to do this year is send out like more text messages. Because even if they don't respond, just a reminder like, hey, there's a basketball game tonight. This is the time it's at. This is where it's at. Here's like our theme. We hope to see you there. Because honestly, like that just like the athletes, that makes that so much more fun when you have a packed like student section. And it's fun to be in the student section too. And so like for them to start that early on instead of waiting like junior year to show up, like it's really fun. And high school goes by fast, so you want to enjoy everything.
One thing I've heard from you that I feel like makes Ghost Crew unique is that it's not just about freshman mentorship, but there's also a huge leadership development piece for the, what did you say, 80?
Yep.
Ghost
we have
Crew
about,
mentors?
we have, I think 85.
85, yeah.
I mean,
something
that
like
speaks to the success of the program right there,
Yeah.
right? So talk about that leadership development piece more. Maybe Mrs. Scott, what happens to facilitate that? And then maybe for you, Delaney, how has that felt like? How do you feel like you've developed as a leader? So Mrs. Scott, maybe first, like what do you do?
Sure. So we offer leadership positions to our seniors. So students that have typically been, Ghost Crew mentors their junior year, then they have an opportunity to be leaders their senior year. And really what that means is they are responsible for like planning and organizing all the things that we do. We don't reinvent the wheel every year. We just make it better. And so our leaders have to figure out how to make things better. They have to put a lot of time and effort into this. And they also actually have to do a lot of organizing their peers. So our leaders not only are responsible for doing this, one of the things that I'm always telling them, we have a lot of things to do. I don't expect our leaders to do all the work. What I expect is for them to reach out to their peers and get the rest of the group on board. The other people can share and still do some of the things. We have about, I think it's 15 leaders.
12 to 15.
12 to 15.
Like that,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I don't remember off the top of my head because we just got that group just secured. But they come to additional meetings and planning meetings. Like I said, today we're going to be meeting this afternoon or later this morning to talk about our next events. We just, they're responsible for really making sure that the message goes out to all 85 mentors, that everybody is engaging with their freshmen and new students.
Yeah, I think like the leadership, like me personally, when I came into high school, like I was so quiet. Like I could not do anything like this. Just the thought of this would probably, like, I couldn't like raise my hand, anything like that. I was very like shy. And then so just opportunities like this, I feel like has really helped me grow, and like being able to talk in front of people, like that's helped a lot. And too, just like being like the independent piece too. So like the work I do with Miss Scott is just like I need to be able to check my emails, like just the small things like that. Like I can't, like I'm not going to have my parents in my ear telling me I need to do this. Like it's more like I need to be on top of it. I need to be checking my emails, making sure I have this slideshow done, making sure I reach out to these people. So I feel like, especially like before going off like on my own for college in a year, like that's really nice to have that experience.
Well, and that personal responsibility piece that you just spoke to is like the cornerstone of leadership, right? Taking personal responsibility for what you need to do is honestly a skill that a lot of people are still developing after they get out of high school. And it's great to hear that you feel like you have that, like you own your projects, right?
I just have to say, like our whole leadership group, I have been so impressed. I cannot say enough great things about what Delaney. She's definitely one of our key leaders and has been a part of figuring things out since last spring, and the amount of time and energy that the leaders are putting into this. The other thing is they're not all like close friends. It's just kind of a random, eclectic group of students that want to develop their leadership skills and love Ghost Crew and want to be, the best mentor they can be. And so what I've seen is just some of that, the collaboration among students that you might not have worked with before, that you guys have now are developing really good relationships in terms of you guys can get stuff done, and it's not like you've ever really done anything with some of the leaders, and then excuse me, and I've noticed that like some of that friendships that is developing with people that you probably would have never been friends with before. And so I love that. I just see that, that you guys have really, just working together with groups that maybe you wouldn't have worked with. And that's something that I've noticed.
I feel like that's really cool to see too, because like you said, these people, I mean, like friendly in passing, but I would never say, oh, we're all gonna go hang out, because like that's not like who like I'm around really. And so then just kind of not forced, but like you're working with these people all the time, and it develops those friendships, which I think is also a good skill to have, because in the real world after high school, like you're going to need to work with everyone, whether you're best friends or not. Like you're going to need to learn how to do that. So just developing that now, I feel like it's just really cool.
So I love what you said about being able to work with people who aren't necessarily your best friends and getting to know new people, because that's exactly what I'm going through right now as a brand new principal here at Kaukauna High School. So that leads me into my last question. And I think this is a question that I'm going to ask all of my guests this year. Tell me something that you think I should know as the new principal and give me some advice.
One thing I would say, I mean, obviously we have a ton of students here, and like you're not going to know everyone personally, but one thing that I really like is just like when people get to like know me. Like if I like see you in the hallway, like say like, oh, hey, like how was the game last night? Like stuff like little stuff like that, I feel like is a lot bigger than people like make it seem, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I love that. All right. How about from the staff perspective, Mrs. Scott?
Well, I think back to actually when another Ghost Crew thing, when you did your, you helped us with our mentor training. Delaney.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
That was awesome.
That's where I first really got to know both of you.
Yes. The video turned out fabulous. And the thing that I thought when I watched it, I'm like, there's just so many layers to you that I just love hearing about kind of like just you as a person, and just I think this year just letting staff know who you are. I think we all everyone brings their own personality to school, and I think just for you letting us know who you are, I think I told you before when I was watching the video, I was engaged. I just wanted to hear more about you, Aaron, and wanted to know like, oh, you like to run half marathons, and just about your personal life, and that you marched in the band in the at Madison. Madison, that you were, those things I just thought were so cool. And then I saw how you because I'm like, oh, there's a couple other people that are really into band. And I'm like, I bet you they're going to have a common link. And I think sharing a lot of who you are, you're going to be able to connect with people in different ways because, band isn't for everybody, but there's a lot of people it is. Running isn't for everybody, but there are some people that it is. And that's how you're going to connect. Or having a cottage up north isn't for everybody, but some people it is, anyways.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll keep people listening throughout the year. We'll keep peeling back the layers of my own personality too. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and hopefully the Ghost Crew leaders got something out of that video.
For sure, yeah.
It was great.
All right, well, thank you so much for being the very first guests on Ghost Stories.
Thank you for having us.
I think it went amazing. I love that the community and the world can know what Ghost Crew is all about now. So thank you to Delaney Ward, Ghost Crew leader. Thank you to Tina Scott, our Ghost Crew advisor. And also thank you to Brianna Moody, the communications and marketing coordinator for the Kaukauna Area School District, who sort of ended up being our producer today and sticking around and helping us with all the technology. And I think she'll probably end up being here for more episodes than just this one. So thank you for sticking around and helping us with the tech. All right. That is all for episode 1 of Ghost Stories. We're hoping to do this about once a month, but I am not going to commit to a specific cadence quite yet. This is the podcast where you will continue to hear more amazing stories about the people at Kaukauna High School and the great things that happen here. So we will learn all about it together here in my first year as the principal. So thank you for listening, and go Ghosts.
Good job.
Hey, that was fun.
Stay spooky.
That was fun.